Welcome to the Deuce Podcast. I'm Brad.
And I'm Jeremy.
And we are finishing up our 90s movies, Jeremy. We are doing the wonderful sequel to Beastmaster called Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time. Everything about that sentence is incorrect because there is no portal of time. The only thing that is correct is there is a Beastmaster in this movie.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Well,
the
2 and the Beastmaster are correct.
So, Mark Singer, of course, who was in the first one, who played Dar, or the Beastmaster himself, returns for this lovely sequel, directed by a director who only has one directing credit this movie and one writing credit this movie, and also has produced a lot of other things, but most importantly, he's produced Beastmaster, Beastmaster 2, Beastmaster 3, and also Beastmaster the television show. So this guy's all Beastmaster.
That's what they say.
And if you're playing the drinking game, how many times we say Beastmaster, you take a drink, you're already drunk.
Okay. So the Beastmaster of Beastmasters.
This movie came out, 1991? Yes. Came out on August 30th, 1991. What were you doing then?
In 91?
Watching Beastmaster 2.
No.
No?
No. It's the interesting thing is, like the first one, this movie was basically kind of a cash grab based on the fact that like a cult following had kind of started around, Beastmaster, and Beastmaster itself was a flop in the theaters. Like, people did not go to it. But since it was cheap to add, you got a lot of places like HBO had shown it, and you had like TBS would show it all the time, or it would show on Saturday afternoon Fox affiliate movie, where they would show it in the afternoons. And so it really gained like a cult following over the years. And so they were but in the 80s, in the 80s and when this came out.
1991. So you're talking about like TBS, TNT kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like in the morning or in the afternoon?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Please
welcome to 1:35 in the afternoon movie on TBS, Beastmaster 2.
That's correct.
This movie currently holds a 3.9 on IMDb and a 14 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Boy, does it ever.
And it is hard to find. We cannot find any streaming services at all. Do not have they have Beastmaster, I think, but they don't have Beastmaster 2.
Right.
Well, you can watch this on YouTube, which is how we watched it.
So, the DVD is out of print.
The DVD is out of print.
So it is insanely expensive if you try to get it.
Really? So, what are you looking at? Like, how much there?
Let me find it real quick. Because I looked at it and was like, we will pick another movie or find another way.
There is also one other person in this movie to mention, which we will mention later on. He plays a policeman in this. He's probably, besides the Beastmaster himself, probably the most famous person in the movie, you would say. I would say so. Wouldn't you say?
Perhaps, if we're talking about the same person.
I think we are.
Oh.
We might be. Who knows? But let me tell you that we are part of the No Phony Podcast Network, a network of podcasts that range anything from us, moviegoers, to comic book reviewers, to comedy, sketch comedy, absurd comedy, to Bible podcasts, to dog podcasts, to sports podcasts, to not just American sports podcasts, but overseas sports podcasts. You name it. We got everything on that network. We are independently awesome, and we are a proud member of the No Phony Podcast Network. Right now, the podcast of the month is Saturdays with Chicken Duck. So please check them out. And rate those guys on iTunes. Do what you can. Rate us on iTunes. Do what you can. Find us everywhere. Find them everywhere. And you can find all those podcasts on nophonypodcastnetwork.com. Did we find out a price of Beastmaster 2?
Sure did. Well, okay, so you can't get it on Amazon.
Right.
Although you can get it on VHS, on DVD it's out of print. The VHS runs about $35.
That's expensive.
Yeah. I did find somebody who is selling it on eBay for about $47.
Like VHS?
No,
what
DVD.
Like Laserdisc?
DVD.
Okay.
Although I didn't check Laserdiscs.
I would totally buy it on Laserdisc.
The poster itself goes for about $26.
The poster
Yeah.
goes for... what?
Yeah. Now, they also had a Beastmaster television show.
Right, that's what I just said. This guy produced the Beastmaster television show.
Well, what I'm saying is, with the television show, apparently, that also is very difficult to print, or difficult to find. It looks like their season 2 is a little, most DVD collections for season 2 range around the 70 to 190 range.
What?
There's one...
you can get the complete season of The Wire for less than that.
Yeah.
And that's caliber, performances and writing.
Correct. Ooh, this Beastmaster season 2 import
There
is
are
$550.
Jesus, there are 3 seasons of that show, I do believe.
You can get this one. They're offering all 3 seasons for $500-something bucks.
The guy that plays Beastmaster was on Young and the Restless for quite some time, like from 2006 to 2019. Probably died. I don't know. I don't watch Y and Y and the Y, Young and the Restless. Wait, Y and the R. Sorry. Why did I say Y and the Y?
And please don't confuse this with the character from the
actor
show? Connor O'Malley. Connor O'Malley,
a.k.a. 80 Bryant's
husband. Yeah. Who plays the character Beast Masturbator.
Right.
Who masturbates supernatural beasts.
Right.
For
the
Jesus.
Chris got through for Jesus. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wearing a 1-800 get junk or something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Get junk.
Please check that out, but do that on your own time. But we are going to drop the deuce on Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time, Jeremy. So do we have a synopsis for this movie?
Yes. Most were either insanely long or insanely short.
This should be insanely short. This movie,
yeah,
but
right.
Whatever.
So I'm just going to read this one because I think it's pretty succinct. Okay. There's more to it, obviously, but I'll read it this way. Dar is a warrior who can talk to the beasts. He's forced to travel to Earth to stop his evil brother from stealing an atomic bomb and turning their native land from a desert into, well, a desert.
What?
That's what it says. That's the IMDb description.
Who wrote that? Wings Hauser?
Apparently.
Jesus.
Andre Norton. Paul Pepperman.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the actual description. I was like, oh, come on.
Do you have any information about this movie? A little trivia about this movie? There's not that much, I found.
No, there really is not. The one part we can cover in a little bit.
Yeah, I think so
about
too.
the theater.
Yeah, the theater bit.
So, like, there's certain things like for those of you who are familiar with the first Beastmaster movie.
Wasn't that called He-Man, Masters of the Universe?
Masters of the Universe?
Okay, just checking.
No. Just no. No, so he has several animals that he has. So there's a tiger named Roo. Now he says all these with their animal sounds.
Mama Roo.
Like Roo. And then he has Kodo and Podo.
No, we forgot to say who does these animal sounds.
Yeah, Frank Welker does all of them.
Yeah, who did
and
Fred.
Yeah.
Freddie Jones on
Scooby-Doo. Yep. Frank, and he was Megatron in Transformers.
Sure, in Transformers, yeah.
Yeah, he's done he's a prolific voice actor.
Right. Oh, it's got one of those voices, yeah.
And I think eventually he took over for Scooby. When the guy who did his voice, I think, passed from cancer, he took over.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to honor his friends thing, and he could do whatever voice. And then he has a hawk named Shakira or something.
I thought you were going to say a hawk named Scooby-Doo.
And Hawk names, that was the spinoff.
That's a spinoff.
Chirac is its name, like Jacques Chirac. But like all these are just like, it's basically the animal sounds they make. But in the first movie, for those of you playing along, I think it was Kodo sacrificed itself. One of the ferrets sacrificed itself to save the day.
Yeah, so we're just assuming that.
But they showed that the other one had 2 babies,
right?
And so then, but people were very confused. Why? Okay, so are those the two? The current Kodo and Podo, are those the 2 babies?
If that's your concern about this movie, you weren't watching this movie correctly.
Well, they wanted
like that's your big beef about this movie.
I know, but they were.
No,
I just figured the original one was older and it probably died, and the other 2 were just now grown up.
So it is.
I used to have ferrets when I was a kid.
Who didn't?
You didn't.
I didn't have ferrets.
Yeah, so then why would you say who didn't? No, we had Franny and Frank.
Yes.
And watching them handle these ferrets throughout the movie, I like ferrets. I think they're fun animals, but like you got to be careful. If they clamp down on you, like you cannot get their jaw. You got to be
careful about a tiger. I mean, you got to be careful about a lot of these animals that they've used.
Well, right, but they handle the ferrets a lot more than all the others.
True, I agree with that.
And he has them in a leather sack he carries close to him. Like I don't want to. Yeah, I kept going, oh God, like when I'd see the ferret look like it wanted to get down, I'm like, oh, that thing's going to bite you.
Yeah. So anyway, you want to drop the deuce on this one?
Yeah, let's do it.
We shall do that, my friend. We open up with a crawl about pretty much what has happened since the first movie, he would say. And I don't really know what's going on because I've never seen the first one. These were kind of like movies that just were always on TBS that I just skipped over.
Yeah. Well,
I was like, oh, is this the movie after, California Dreams and Saved by the Bell? No, thanks.
So in the first movie, Dar fights a guy named Zed, who's like the evil king.
I thought Zed's dead.
Zed is dead, baby. Zed's dead, baby. But no, he fights Zed. And Zed is like he's the evil king. I think, if I remember right, he's Dar's father.
Okay, that makes sense.
And there are actually, well, as we'll find out in this movie, there's actually more than one child out there. So Dar ends up beating him with the help of one of the ferrets, and of course his other animals. But right. Basically, they're trying to kind of freedom fight, and there's now a power vacuum, and they're trying to stop evil people from filling it.
Right.
Including this evil warlord named Arklon.
Played by the wonderful Wings Hauser.
Let's talk about Wings Hauser.
Let's talk about Wings Hauser for a second there. Yeah. Wings Hauser claims that he came to L.A.
Yeah, he said that he raised the child as a single father, having arrived in Hollywood with, quote, $30 and a box of Pampers.
Sure.
And then quickly called his well-to-do folks and his well-to-do children's grandparents to,
Wings Hauser isn't the most popular Hauser. That would be Doogie, right? No, I'm just joking. Actually, Cole Hauser is probably the most popular Hauser that we have. Cole Hauser was in Pitch Black.
Yes.
Also, what's that one movie with Ben Affleck and Matthew McConaughey that I always get confused?
With Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, it's The Last Day of School.
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah. It's in Higher Learning. So, Cole Hauser, he's one of those people that you've seen his face.
Yeah, you've seen him lots of times.
So, yeah. And that is Wings Hauser's son. So this guy looks like a generic version of Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah. That's what I said to you. You said Kiefer Northern.
Kiefer Northern, yeah. It's like, depending upon the picture, he either looks like generic Kiefer Sutherland, or like sometimes he looks like from Baywatch. Oh my God! Why can't I think of his name?
I don't know. I don't even know who you're talking about on Baywatch.
Knight Rider.
Oh, David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, he looked like a David Hasselhoff.
No.
You have to see the pictures that I saw.
Okay, maybe the pictures you saw, but not from this movie.
Not from this one, no.
So Arkland has captured Dar, correct? And
yeah.
It looks like he's going to kill him.
Yes.
Because he wants power. He wants control of,
basically
all of Fantasia Land.
Yes. So Dar is leading like the opposing force who's trying to clean everything up.
The resistance. Yeah. It's always a resistance.
Well, now there's this power vacuum, so it's trying. Right. It's kind of like the good versus the bad. Like neither of them have the same foothold as before.
So in order to escape, Dar sends in his crew of animals that he calls, and they help him escape pretty much. And,
yes.
Yeah. And there's something about a witch. I don't know, like if this witch is from the first movie or not. I got really confused if she was.
I don't think she was.
You don't think she was? This is just part of
I can't remember it, honestly. Like it's been a really long time since I've just sat down and watched Beastmaster.
Oh, well, there you go. Lorana?
Yeah, Lorana.
Lorana the witch?
Yeah. And so Lorana is played by Sarah Douglas from Superman 2.
Yes, and from stealing money from people, but that's besides the point.
Yes, that's her. So she, something's up. Like there are some other group of warriors leading her somewhere, and they're telling her that she needs to show them what to do. So she tells them which direction to go, and basically leads them into an ambush by Arklon's forces. Who take everybody out but her. Arklon shows up and he has this like scepter thing that basically shoots out these green blasts.
Right.
So he shoots lasers and everything. Yeah. And so he's, basically attacks. She convinces him, hey.
Can I say the design of that's cool? The
yes.
special effects, of course, is very cheesy.
Yes.
Set in 1991.
Yeah.
Clunky,
even then, it's not the worst.
It's not the worst, but I like the piece of it.
Yes, it's a cool prop.
Yeah,
very cool prop. So she convinces him. Well, he's freaking out, and then she says, "Like, chill out, dude.
Like, chill out, dude." Which I'm like, what?
No, I was like,
Which makes me feel like, and we'll talk about it, this fish out of water thing in a moment, but do you think she has traveled over to...
Oh, yeah. She says that she's been there before.
Okay.
But that's
what I got from that.
Or she's at least been viewing them through the
But also, portal. Like, why throw that out there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That seems
He's going to go, what? What does that even mean?
Yeah. So, but she's been observing or over there even. But she can create a portal... And let me be clear, she can create a portal to an alternate world.
Alternate world, not time.
Yeah.
An alternate world, portal through
and we should
space.
we should just clarify that this is Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time.
Not the portal of space.
Correct.
So the portal to another world is 1991's LA.
Yes. And so there's some things I think this movie does okay and some things I don't. One of the things I hate with like fish out of water things is when they're like, show me this L.A.
Yes. He kept going, I want to know about this L.A. I'm like, just call it law.
Yeah. All right. It'd been, to me, it would have sounded more imposing if she would have said Los Angeles.
Yes.
Because then he could have been like, Los Angeles.
But
L.A.
L.A.
Yeah, sounds stupid.
Well, let me tell you about L.A. You came to L.A. with $30 in your pocket, Wings Hauser.
Yeah, the warlord showed up with $30 and a laser blaster. Which pretty much meant he didn't have to spend his $30.
This should be Beastmaster 2 Laser Blaster into time and space, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. But might not have played well on the marquees.
Probably not.
Probably not.
It didn't fit so well.
No. So she shows him
there's
L.A.
So she shows him a device, a nuclear detonator, which I don't think the person who wrote this knew. Like, a detonator doesn't do anything. Like, a detonator is just,
The person who wrote this also directed it. So this was the only time that the person ever
Well, he took it
wrote
over from the original person who wrote it.
Right. Right.
And then they said it was a nuclear device that was just big enough to carry for one person to carry. It's like the size of a cube.
Yeah.
And if you brought this back here, you could basically lord it over everybody and stop, basically show that you have this power and stop them. But he already pretty much has the power. He has this laser blaster thing that will take anybody out. Like, I don't get what the point is.
If it's going to explode, you only have that power for so long.
Yeah.
Then you're all dead, right?
Yeah.
But
he doesn't have to use it. He just has to say he'll use it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Big deal. Blah, blah, blah. So meanwhile, they forgot to close the portal.
Well, when they open it to look through, that means they can come through from the other side, too.
Right. And so they forgot to close the portal, and now we get shots of L.A.
Yeah. 90s
with
LA.
our heroin. 90s LA.
Although...
not heroin, but
yes.
heroin,
Well, probably heroin.
That, too.
But no, like, I will say that, like, the person when they did this, it wasn't, like, overly stereotypical LA either. Like, sometimes when you get somebody who writes LA or the director does it, and it's all
but it wasn't great either.
It was, like, the weirdest of the weird, because they're trying to, like...
Well, I'm sure they didn't have money to do the weirdest of the weird.
Well, yeah. They want the flyover seats to be like, whoa!
So we reach Jackie
yes.
Trent, and she's
Jackie Trent
driving in a car.
Her father is a senator.
Yeah, she's riding in a Porsche.
She calls it a Porsche.
Jackie is played by Carrie Werrer.
Carrie Werrer, the rural juror.
Yeah, right. So she does a lot of voiceover work.
Yes, she does now.
Yes, so she does like Maria Hill and all the DC animated movies, and stuff like that. Yeah, and she was the sheriff in 8-Legged Freaks. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
She was also in Sliders.
What was she in Sliders?
So in Sliders, they pick up a gal along the way who's like from a more militaristic world.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah, and she's like the gal who she basically when Wade disappears, she takes over for Wade.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't get that far.
Yeah,
I don't think I got that far.
No, it's
so it's like
not in the highlights.
Okay, well,
yeah. Yeah.
So it'll be.
There's a real quick point of diminishing returns.
She's on her
Sliders.
phone, like she's on the phone, like a car phone, and she's like she's talking to her dad. I'm going to make it to the wedding.
She's trying to get to her sister's wedding. She has 20 minutes, and she's driving like 90 miles an hour.
The cops, find her and chase her down.
Yeah, and she's like, "No, I'm not speeding, Daddy. Like, I need to. Of course, I'm going to be there." And so she's like driving, and she's. By the way, this is the. I never hear Carrie Werrer. God, I get her here.
It's fine.
Like
Jackie.
I never see her playing like ditzy or
ditzy.
She usually is just like she's very like badass all the time. She plays it very well. She plays a very good like strong female character. I think she's still in this movie. She still is, but like she's much more Valley Girl-ish in this one, and it's so weird for me to hear her like that because I never do.
That's strange.
Yeah.
So the cops are chasing her down, the highways or the byways of Los Angeles. And
freeways.
And she ends up like
she goes
trying
down
to get rid of him.
Yeah, she's now she goes from being like ditzy and not noticing.
So she chases him, and then she goes down this alleyway, but she's like, "Oh shit, there's a wall there."
Yeah, and she's going too fast.
She's going too fast. So all of a sudden, you would think she's going to crash through the wall, but it's actually where the portal's at, and she ends up over on the other side.
Yes,
where the witch and Wings Hauser are at. And the cops
follow
through.
Yeah,
and the cops are like, "Where is everyone?"
Well, no. So the cops now. So the cops think they are being pranked by some guy. They're like, oh, this is Lieutenant Ramos playing a joke on us. You're now in a desert. You drove through a wall. So now you're in a desert surrounded by people with like crossbows and swords. What kind of like access does Lieutenant Ramos have? Like, what kind of budget does he have for pranking, I suppose? Like,
I don't know. Quite a lot, probably.
But he's notorious for his world warping pranks.
Yeah. Yep. He is.
Like,
so
it very clearly is not.
right. So they're like pull the guns out on them, and they say put your arms up. And they're like, no, you put your arms up. And then they shoot, laser beams at them or whatever.
Yeah, they all get into a firefight.
Yeah, firefight. And then they blow up the car.
Yeah, one torch hits the ground near the car, and the cops are like, they know that they're in a movie car, right. And they're like, oh god, it's gonna blow. In
a Hollywood movie car.
And so they run while
they run through the portal.
Yeah, they jump back through it.
Meanwhile, Jackie drives away, gets away in her Porsche.
Yeah.
Driving
until it runs out of gas.
And then until she leaves. So she leaves the car abandoned, but she leaves the lights on. That's important.
Yeah.
For later on, but that's just my opinion. So she leaves the lights on, and she goes on foot. She carries her bag, and she has a guitar for some reason that never pops up. She's a music.
Yeah, she's
major or something. That's
she is a music student.
Yeah, so we got to make sure that we put the guitar in there.
Yeah,
and the Beastmaster shows up because she wakes up the next morning,
and Rue is there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Stop licking me." I think her dog. She calls her dog
her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend.
Yeah.
No clue. We don't know if it's her dog or her boyfriend or both.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that whatever. Anyway, so go ahead. What were we gonna say? Okay. So the Beastmaster shows up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she wants him to protect her.
Like, "What's up, dude?" And he's like, "Dude, what's that?"
Yeah, she calls these people with crossbows and swords geeks a lot.
Yes, geeks.
What are these geeks doing?
Which I don't know. Maybe she, back in 1991, there was really, because I don't think of people LARPing back in 1991.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? No. That wasn't really popular.
Yeah.
Or something that was in the mainstream. So how did she know these are geeks? Maybe like Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing.
Yeah, I think back then it was just much more frowned on with the...
Yeah.
They didn't have cosplayers for like these... You see them now regularly for like Comic-Cons and stuff like that.
Sure.
You wouldn't see them as much mainstream-wise. So they end up traveling together, eating roots and whatnot, while they... eating roots to survive and whatever else as they make their way back.
Yes. So she's in his land.
Yeah.
She's like, "Where are we?" And I'm like, "Oh, honey, you're like in like South LA, okay? Like really far away." I don't even know if that's a joke, but hey, go ahead.
So they finally make it back to they're heading back, and you see some riders come up. There's like weird moments where I was like, they add stuff that just doesn't add anything. Like, what are those? It's the whatever dogs, the wolf dogs or whatever they are.
Yeah, they never show back.
It's just dogs wearing costumes that you just see their silhouettes, and they'll drag your soul to the pit.
Okay.
Yeah. Okie doke. Not important to the plot. Yeah, okay, great. Thank you. So, but you evolved tigers and ferrets and hawks,
right?
And like eagles, just like the same.
You can control those, but you can't control these things.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier. While all this is going on, like he's just wandering through like a swamp that has like nothing to do with the rest of the story. He gets attacked by swamp.
I swear to you, like they were like at one point, like he was just like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah, he was really on top.
He was on top of him. Pretty bad.
Yeah. And
he probably thought he was Constantine.
Probably. So like he already like you see Rue is coming to save him. The monster like flashy things him with his eyes, and Rue wanders away. And then he starts doing that to Dar until Dar holds up his hand and he sees like the chosen symbol. He's like, oh, we're related. You're one of me.
Oh, everyone's related.
Yeah. He's like, that, my bad. You're one of my people. And
sorry, I didn't mean to kill you. I didn't know you were.
Well, and he tells him you have to. There is actually one other child, your brother, and then you have to stop him. That's the prophecy. Is that you have to stop the other one.
Okay,
brother has to kill brother.
Whoever your brother is.
And then he's like, now excuse me while I go die.
Yeah.
And he's just like bleeding out.
Now I'm gonna die. Boom.
But that was played by Robert Zadar.
Oh, that was Robert Zadar.
The incomparable Robert Zadar with a face like a catcher's mitt.
Well, that's why they put him in the makeup.
Who was in a couple of MST3K movies. But yeah, he... yes, it's really weird. It has like nothing to do with nothing.
Really nothing to do with it.
They just wanted to tell that part of the story.
Like you really could have just like played that out when we reached over.
Yeah.
And like we flashed the symbols and everything.
Yes, exactly.
So it's like whatever.
So they get to they're heading toward the portal when Arklon's guys come up. They start throwing smoke bombs out. And eventually, which disables disables Dar and Jackie. They take Jackie. Yucky. They take Jackie because they want her to show them around.
Right, that's
LA
right. They kidnapped Jackie.
To be their guide. So that's why they kidnap her. So
if anyone knows the streets of LA, it's Jackie.
Well, yeah, she would. So they take them back.
She's too busy like zooming past all
I know. She doesn't know any of that.
Know any of that.
So they take her back. Two of them stay to fight the Beastmaster, and of course they're like
and lose.
Dead instantly. Yeah. The other two take her back. So they grab her and they go through the portal and they're walking up the alley. Of course, the hawk or the eagle, sorry, don't mean to be specious. So the hawk flies after them. Shrock flies after them, trying to keep on them so they can keep track of it. Rue and Dar make it through the portal behind them, and that's when he like holds up his hand, and oh my god, Wings Hauser realizes that they are brothers.
Brother.
They have the same symbol on their hand.
So they're brothers. Then he says, "But I'm going to kill you anyway. Till death do us part."
Yes.
That's not how that works.
Nope, not how it works. That is not a thing.
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
No.
Till death do us part.
No, nope. You guys are brothers. No.
Nope.
Okay.
So
now we get the whole fish out of water of everyone, right?
Yeah. Although, like, honestly, I don't think this is the worst fish out of water.
I don't think so either, but let's talk about how the scenes that we should talk about where she takes them to get new clothes.
Yes.
Okay. So she takes them to some kind of store that's going not out of business, but like a liquidation sale.
Yeah.
And she like, there's a sales guy there, and he's like a Nance.
Yeah.
It's very much
totally a Nance type character.
You know, feminine and like, ooh, how can I help you?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and I can't tell if he's, but that's the thing. I don't know if he's
early 90s.
I don't know if he's trying to be gay or if he's trying to be like Dutch. He has this weird accent.
He's trying to be gay in the early 90s.
But later he says, well, yeah. Later when they're talking about the virgins.
Whatever.
Yeah. I sacrificed a few of them myself.
Well, yes. That doesn't mean
I know it doesn't.
Anything. Of course he did. You know, he sacrificed. Yes. Like a banana boy here and there, he did.
I'm just like, what are you doing?
So he's like, she's like, you need proper dreads. Threads, not dreads. Sorry.
Threads. Correct.
Or dreads. No, you don't.
No,
threads.
Arklon's hair was long enough to have the dreads.
True.
He might have looked good that way.
So they go shopping.
Yes.
And he says, try this on. So then they go to the changing room. you don't leave. You stay right here.
Yeah.
Of course she's gonna leave.
And he threatens her.
Just
She's
leave.
like she says she'll stay because she's scared. And then as soon as he turns his back, she's like, "Well, you're an idiot." And
She
just
runs out. She runs out the store. She hits some extra. The extra goes, "What?"
Yeah.
Like,
oh my! Some, like, old lady.
Like, it was like, no, it wasn't even an old lady. It was like a guy.
Oh yeah, but she does hit an old lady too,
Yes.
who has like a dog in the
It's
store.
like that's dubbed.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, I love it.
But
I love
but
crappy
they
scenes like that.
Lorana, she gets dressed up. She has this like cool blue dress on.
Yeah, from like the Vanna White collection. From
Yeah,
the early 90s.
but it looked good on her.
Yeah.
It made
She
her
could
look sinister.
She could turn some letters and some heads in that.
Yeah.
I think so.
Ooh, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
She turns some letters, then she'll turn some heads,
That's double entendre there.
and then she might even turn that sales guy.
Turn that sales guy around.
I'm into women now.
So meanwhile, the cops, and here's the most I think the most famous person in this movie.
Yes,
You would say, right? James
Perhaps.
Avery shows
Maybe
up.
James
Avery
Avery
shows up. And he's like what, like the head cop or whatever?
Yeah, he's the lieutenant.
He's the lieutenant.
Yeah,
Yes, Brad. A head cop is called lieutenant, not head cop.
yeah,
It's wonderful.
he's
So he's the lieutenant. He's in charge.
supreme cop of the area.
And James Avery, of course, is Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
He is indeed.
So you're in the wrong part of California, dude. You're not in L.A. You should be back in Bel-Air. That's just me, though. It's great to see young James Avery.
Yes,
And even young James Avery looks like old James Avery
Lieutenant Coverly.
without like a full-on beard. You know?
Yeah,
So they take him into. They take the Beastmaster into the precinct to ask him a few questions. They take the tiger away, take him to the zoo because that's
well, they think he came from the zoo,
right. So he's a tiger. Of course,
Yeah.
they're going to think that.
and the detective Bendowski.
Come on, Detective Bendowski. He always says his name, Bendowski.
By our other famous guy, Robert Fieldsteel.
No,
Just kidding.
what else has he been from?
From
Bow Tie, the movie.
From Bendowski Explains It All.
Bendowski explains it all.
It was the spinoff. They get him there. They're questioning him. While they have him in custody, we get where Arklon comes out of the dressing room, and I like that he wasn't just like he was still himself, but he also wasn't like so fish out of water that it was ridiculous. Like most people can take from context clues what's happening,
right?
And so he goes in the dressing room and puts on the coat, and he's actually like looking at it, but not in a goofy ass way, just kind of like kind of interested in what he looks like in it.
Yes.
And when it comes out, he gets pissed and starts trashing.
I mean, I liked that too. Didn't like the acting, but I liked the reason that they did that. But yeah,
no, he wasn't too, and maybe it was. Maybe the reason he wasn't. Maybe he was supposed to be more over the top, and he just wasn't that good of an actor. But I thought they did it like to an appropriate amount where I was willing to accept it. And even like Lorana, once he gets done trashing everything, she's like, "Oh my god." She's like, you have all the grace of a rabid rhinoceros. But yeah, he freaks out and he takes off trying to find her. But he uses his gun. First he starts using it like telekinesis, like knocking people away. And then he uses the blast to just blow out the front windows to the store.
Yeah.
So he gets we figure out Lieutenant Coberly has a description of Arklon, and Dar sees it. Yeah. It's just like, that's the guy. That's him.
Do you know that? I know the address of that store.
What?
704 Hauser Street. Yeah.
It,
Yeah. And since they're brothers, they got to keep it all in the family. Anyway, keep going.
So they are. So Dar is like, oh, he's not going to get out. So he dives through the lieutenant's window and then like runs through the station, jumps out the window,
starts throwing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
to block. You know how like they do that in chase scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, I'll throw this trash can out of the way. Oh, this is a guy painting on a ladder. I'll just knock him over.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't he? So he dives out the window right as Jackie's pulling up in her father's convertible
in a BMW. First of all, I think it was like BMW, and then it changed. There's like a goof in the movie where it changed to a different brand.
Really?
You have car? Yeah, it was really strange. I saw it. I was like, that looks like a different car. I'm like, no.
So she picks him up.
At the exact same time.
Yeah.
She's driving by.
And she was like, magically, I thought you might be here.
I thought you might be here. I've been looking for you everywhere.
So they're driving. Now, this is the part, I think, where your brain exploded.
My brain exploded when we hit press play on that YouTube video.
So they're driving, and they're she's like, hey, this is all the stuff that's around here, and like kind of again the fish out of water introduction.
Don't try to justify this scene. Don't try to justify this scene. And so like she calls somebody an asshole, and he's like, haha, asshole. You know, and like it's just a normal like they see stuff, and there's just a lot of like shots of LA. But then they drive by a theater. A movie theater, right?
And the marquee says...
Yes, do not justify this.
The marquee says, Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time.
So they pass the movie that they're in.
Yes.
So if they pulled over in that movie, walked in, then they would have seen themselves like that scene in Spaceballs. Where it's like they, fast forward in the movie. Oh, it's the movie right now, and they look over their shoulder. So they walk into that movie. That movie is part of them. There's nothing in there. Don't have a theory.
Oh no, I do have a theory.
Do not have a theory on this. This is stupid. This is the dumbest thing.
No, I have a theory.
It's so terrible. You cannot justify this.
I have a theory that will close some loopholes, more than one loophole.
It's not a loophole. This is a crappy.
No. Listen to me.
Use of meta.
Listen to me.
This is worse.
What if... So, Last Action Hero comes out in 1993.
Bullshit.
It also takes place in LA. What if that movie screen and other places in here were like random just portals to these like movie worlds? When they come through, they're not actually going through time. They're going to this alternate world because they're going from the movie world to the real world.
But how would anyone know what Beastmaster is?
Because it was just like Last Action Hero.
No, you can't justify this.
Yeah, they come
everything
through,
about it you cannot justify.
They come through from the movie world.
It's not a Fringe. This is not an episode of Fringe where it's like, $2 bills have like and then Bill Clinton on them.
No, but then that would explain. It would explain why they don't go through time. Why they go through
there's blips flying around in this world
because the movie they are supposed to go through time, but instead they went through the portal that took them to the real world. It still doesn't
make sense.
In the same, if you would take Last Action Hero as that continuity, that world where that is acceptable, and that kind of thing can happen,
then it should have been any movie
happened
up,
here
then it should have been any movie up there.
No, it would have been Last Action.
No, it should have been Last Action Hero up there, not Beastmaster 2.
It didn't come out for 2 more years.
I will fight this. We will not talk about the rest of the movie. We will just talk about the scene.
It's
ad nauseum.
It's totally plausible.
It's totally not possible.
I say LA is filled with
bullshit.
LA is filled with portals.
This movie is breaking us. This movie is
go through
tearing us apart. The scene is terrible.
No, it's
just justify that this scene is awful.
And I think it's more in depth
than
than we can comprehend.
No,
and it has been a secret genius moment for many years.
All right, it's bullshit, but whatever.
It's not bullshit.
It's
genius.
Complete not genius.
Genius.
It's complete not genius.
Anyway,
I paused it and said, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah,
I was like, "I'm done with this movie." And I walked away.
And then I contemplated how wonderful it was.
You were like, "Wow,
best
sci-fi movie ever."
But in all honesty, based on the rest of the writing, I'm going to guess it was them trying to be cutesy.
Yeah, and it didn't work.
No, it did not.
No, thank you.
It makes no sense.
But let's say it did. For instance, I think actually you are onto something. No, you're not. Anyway, so we get fish out of water stories. Yeah. He's trying to. She takes him home to her house, and there's a great scene where the butler,
played by Arthur Mallet or Mallet,
sure,
who Toodles.
That's
in
a
Hook.
wine. What?
He was played Toodles in Hook. I've lost my marbles.
That's him?
Yeah, that's him.
He lost his marbles for doing this movie.
I know, right?
Okay. So he plays like this really, but he kind of plays the same character in this kind of in a way.
No, the other guy, he was nuts. This one,
he's pretty nuts in this one too.
No, he's not. He's just a stuffy butler.
Okay, he's a stuffy butler, But let's say he's a stuffy butler, but he's not the same stuffy butler because he's wearing an alternate dimension.
He's not a stuffy butler in Hook.
So let's say he's, but maybe in this timeline
he's like a doddering old grandpa in Hook.
Maybe in this timeline, he's a stuffy butler in Hook. Maybe Hook has a stuffy butler in this timeline.
You all can't see it, but he's doing this like head bob thing.
I am. I'm pissed about it. Pissed about your justification.
I'm just trying to make the best of a bad situation, and
you can't make it best.
Mocking me.
I'm not mocking you. I'm mocking this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
you're the one that was like, "Let's do Beastmaster."
I was trying to come up with something from the '90s with a different genre.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, they go. They have some food, and so he serves them completely. Put together plates of food that were just sitting in the fridge.
Oh yeah, like she's like, sit down. This is my friend, and he puts down 2 plates of food just miraculously.
Yeah, that are like 5-star restaurant quality, like already put together.
Who else
dishes.
was there that you were gonna like feed? And how did you know she was gonna be there?
And then they also bring out bags of ham. Like it's very like, but now they bring in like Kodo and Poto are out there eating some fruit or whatever, and then the Shirok comes in, flies inside, and that eagle is beautiful, by the way. That is a beautiful bird.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an eagle.
Yeah.
Right?
Like a golden eagle.
Sure. So she says, let's watch the news.
Yes. Let's watch the news.
Okay.
So they're like, cool. Let's watch it.
He's like, we have to stop him. We got to stop him from getting that device.
Yeah.
Okay, let's watch the news.
If only we knew where he was. Now earlier, there was a scene where he just happens to be coming out of a bar, like a strip club, with a drunk military officer.
The drunk military. Sorry.
How he got there and how he ran into the drunk military, to the military officer, no one knows. But this is where we find out...
what bar was that?
We found out that
the Blue
Wings
Oyster?
Hauser can steal your thoughts.
Yeah, like we found out that he has another power where he can steal your thoughts.
Yeah. Although, like,
know where that came from.
Why wouldn't you play that up earlier? Because I wanted, like, if they're brothers, I wanted Wings Hauser to have his own animals that he controlled. But apparently he controls people instead.
On the wings of Hauser. Sorry.
But, like, okay, then if you control, like, one controls animal and one controls people, I guess that's kind of cool, but, like, you needed to play that up differently.
Yeah, why not have, like, a battle or, like, a war between them? There's a lot of scenes. A lot of these action scenes were pretty, like, not great.
Yeah. So he takes the guy's memories.
They're like stage combat 101.
Yes, they are.
It's really bad.
He takes the guy's memories. He basically he runs to the military base. Well, right as they're turning on the TV, the lady is like, "This is so and so live from the secret military base," and so they're live from a secret base. And as they're talking, you see Arklon like looking shifty and getting into a car that's just like they see him on TV. Oh my god! Like what a coincidence! They just turned their TV on right as that was starting.
Yeah.
So they go to stop him. He's in the base, and like Lorana shows up also in whatever outfit. He goes to.
How did she get there? Who knows?
Yeah, we don't need to know that apparently. But she's like, "Hey, I'm here to help you." He takes her mind, or starts to like take some of her memories, but she manages to get out with her life still. But he takes off with knowing how to get it through the portal without her.
Oh, that sounds so bad. Okay.
Yeah. Well, she goes.
Yeah, because she says like, full moon.
I have the key to get back through.
And full moon is when it opens up.
Yeah, for like 2 hours after the full moon. And so I think they kind of changed that she had some power to get through, not just to like
they
when
just
he
changed
knew.
it in the middle of it.
So he takes off with the nuke, which has been activated now, accidentally.
Look, she looked nice in that uniform.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, look at you.
Yeah, she at one point. And this is also the scene where Arklon is firing at scientists trying to get out of there, and he manages to blast a couple things or like shove them back. And then one time he takes his laser staff thing, holds it up there. Some of the energy like starts to fire and then just disappears, like it doesn't fire. And she goes, "Don't worry, I've had partners where that's happened before. It doesn't blah blah blah."
Jeez.
And I was like, "Really, really, like that in the middle of this?"
Yes.
Like in the middle of the scene, you had to work that joke in.
Yes. Let's have one of those jokes.
Yeah. I'm surprised he wasn't like, "This has never happened to me before," like right in the middle of it.
Not the bars I go to. Why, seduce military men.
Seduce military guys. And then suck their thoughts out of their head.
I don't know why he sounds like the guy.
I'm Skeletor.
I'm Skeletor. I'm here
It's
from
me,
another life.
Arklon.
Beastmaster, I will get you.
So now he takes the nuke.
Because they're Jackie and him are on the way to the secret military base because she knows where it's at. Everyone knows where the secret military base is. And how come all these bases are just like it's just one gate?
Yes,
that protects these secret bases.
Yeah,
that have like life altering tools that could blow up the whole world.
Why would you have a nuke in the middle of L.A.?
Yeah.
Anyway,
ask Jack Bauer that.
Like at a secret nuclear facility in the heart of Los Angeles.
He's Jack Hauser, not Jack Bowser or Bauer.
Jack Bowser?
Yeah, Jack Bowser. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
Jack Bowser, man.
So Dar and Jackie get there. They pick up Lorana, who's like, "I'm gonna help you guys," and so she goes with them. Doesn't actually really end up helping them much. But they
just wants to ride back to the portal.
I think that's basically what it is. Whatever. But they're trying to track him. He's watching Shirok like through Shirok's eyes. He's communicating with me. He's like, "I see a lot of green space
that to begin with.
I see a lot of this. I know, right?" But he manages to track him to
the zoo.
He sees other animals, and Jackie's like, "It's the zoo," and so they go.
So if Beastmaster is after you, probably don't go to a place where there's a lot of animals, you moron.
Yes, and I guess part of it too is like I think they were just trying to make this the big like. If you're gonna have Beastmaster fight him, and you're gonna have both of them use their powers, you probably want to get him somewhere where he's got some animals to control.
So Jackie turns on some like music, and they start fighting.
Well, she's by the sound system, and she turns on lights so that they can see. So they start sword fighting, and then like Kodos and Podos like hit these buttons that start like a audio track where it's like, "Hey,
for Adventureland,
the two animals are fighting." Or here we have the noble lion and the Tasmanian hedgehog, and it's just like this goofy
thing. But by the way, I couldn't after about the second line, I couldn't hear a damn thing that thing was saying.
Yeah, I could. They kept making it obvious, and then they would talk over.
It, and I couldn't hear it. So I was just like, dude, if you're gonna make it like somewhat poetic there, let me listen to the thing.
They were like, "Let's see if we can get them to kiss."
Right.
And I was like, "What?
Like, well, we shouldn't because they're brothers." But yeah,
well, you guys keep really going for
you really kind of go
for to us part, and then they kiss. But finally,
what are they, Dean and Sam Winchester? Get over it.
I don't even think this is Arklon who does this. I think Wings Hauser was like, "What the fuck?" He takes his sword and he cuts the box where like the electricity is, so that the sound system cuts out. I think the actor just did us all a favor.
Probably.
Now back to the story. Lack
thereof. But yes.
So they fight, and Arklon manages to rip the ground apart. And so like Dar almost rolls into the pit where it's like flaming, and Arklon, I think it's Rue manages to knock him in, because of course that's where they took Rue. So Rue manages to knock Arklon in.
In between there's some crosscuts of an elephant, and a chimp.
Yes,
that just keeps clapping and making
but
noises.
But again with Welker, the voice.
But why? Well, you couldn't help.
No,
okay.
Apparently not. They're for the sequel.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, so then Arklon's dead, and then they're like, okay, we need to. The police show up.
Dismantle it.
They dismantle the bomb. They turn it off, and they end up basically going. Beastmaster
no
goes
one's
back
getting charged for the fact that this whole zoo's on fire.
No,
no one cares about that.
Or that a nuke was stolen.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
No,
let these guys go.
Nobody wonders why Jackie's there or Dar.
No, in fact, I don't even think we see. We see Jackie, but we never see what's her face go through the portal.
No, we don't. She probably stayed. Lorana do better over here anyway.
Yeah.
But so Dar ends up going back through the portal with Shirak, who got blasted, which was like a, oh no kind of moment.
Yeah.
But turns out he was just fucking faking it.
That's the only time I felt something, and then the stupid thing was faking it.
Yeah, he was like, just kidding, bitches.
Yeah,
gets up. And then so Rue, Shirak, and Dar go back to the portal. Jackie stays over here, of course, with Kodos and Podos.
Yes, Kodos and Podos. And before the credits roll, when he sees a bunch of people who have traveled all the way to see this godlike thing, and it just happens to be Jackie's old car that starts playing rock and roll music. How the hell does this thing, which its lights have been on, by the way, still have enough battery juice to play rock and roll music? Well, that's for another podcast to figure out.
Yeah.
But I would say that you've been deuced on this one, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to say there's a reason why this movie's out of print, because why would you really want this movie?
They didn't print that many copies because why would they?
Why would they? This movie is a fun laugh if you want to laugh.
Yeah.
I think so, but that's just beside the point. Let's do our 5 questions, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think was the best part of the movie?
Well, straight up, it's not a lot going for this movie, but whoever did the animal wrangling in this movie did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Like, had to work with a lot of, like, different animals and different aspects of, like, all these animals are really controlled very well. Yes. And even Mark Singer himself is controlling, the tiger. And so I'm like, hey, kudos, if you use the same tiger or what, and it just knows Mark or what. But that I thought was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, I agree. Like I will say, I was really glad. I don't think the movie took itself very seriously, because sometimes you get these where they do, and you're like, "Oh my god!" Like, get over yourself.
Yes, but when it didn't take itself seriously, it didn't do it correctly.
Correct, it didn't. Yeah. But I'm glad it didn't try to take itself too seriously. But for me, the animals were a big win because they were very well trained animals.
Right nowadays, this would be all like CG.
Yeah,
right.
And the CG would be like, I get it. Like
Jon Favreau work with that. Would you?
I think you could. Well, if they ever make an Animal Man movie, the DC character Animal Man, I am there. Like, I would love that. And CG would probably is more practical with a lot of that, but like, they would use real animals for some things, but like, it wouldn't be like this where they used real animals for things.
I mean,
But yeah, those animals were very well behaved, very well trained, and they were beautiful animals. Like and they were very they had their personalities with it too. Like, I know Frank Welker was responsible for voicing some of them.
Yeah.
But like, they did a good job of really playing up and kind of playing to like the personality of the animals, I thought.
Yeah.
So, do you think this movie stands on its own?
No, there's some questions I have about it. I don't know. I need a little bit more background about the Beastmaster. Yeah. That I kind of don't understand.
it's been so long since I've seen it, I forget most of the, like, except for, like, big things. I can't quite remember all the small stuff.
So there's a little bit of confusion to it.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, I don't think this really stands on its own.
I think once they reach 1991 LA, it might.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know.
Well, yeah, but once it reaches 1991 LA, it's basically Mannequin 2.
It is. It's very Mannequin 2. Yeah.
Would you reboot, continue, or cancel this movie?
Again, I think these movies could be fun if done correctly, and I think they could be done in a right manner. Yeah. I think maybe perhaps that TV show probably took itself too serious.
Probably.
So I say redo this. I say reboot Beastmaster.
Okay. I say cancel.
Yeah.
But I still think there's a need for, I still think there's good stuff that could come out of this. So I say cancel Beastmaster and make an Animal Man movie.
Shut up.
Oh, come on. It's great. Animal Man is a great character.
Yeah. Can I take it back?
Yeah.
Can I take the first question back? You said the best part of this movie. Best part of this movie was when they drove past that movie theater. And it was Beastmaster too. No, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
And we all had small brain lapses.
And we all yelled at each other.
Does this make you want to watch the first movie?
Oh, absolutely not. No. This makes me want to buy copies. This makes me want to hit the Powerball so I can buy copies of this and burn
it. Or buy it on Laserdisc.
Actually, that's the only way I would watch it again.
On Laserdisc?
Yes.
I agree.
Is on Laserdisc.
I agree.
I don't know why, but
yes,
that's what I'm saying.
It seems appropriate.
It seems like appropriate. And I would also watch this drunk at 2 a.m.
Yes. Totally.
So,
Yeah, we maybe should have done that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these movies where sometimes I've seen them years ago and I'm like, oh man, I want to watch the first one again so that I could remember what it was.
Yeah, but is that just based on nostalgia? Because we're just talking about this movie in general. This movie does not make me feel like Beastmaster 1 would hold up very well. And I don't know. Maybe it does.
What I'm saying is, there are some of these movies where I haven't seen the first one for a long time. We watch the second one. I'm like, yeah, the second one. I'm like, oh, but I'm trying to remember what was going on with the first one. I want to see it again so I can remember what that was. On this one, I'm like, God, it's been so long since I've seen the first one. I don't want to see it again. It's just it doesn't make me want to do it. And usually, I feel more like, maybe.
It should be part of a time capsule.
Yeah, this one I'm just pass.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
That's fine.
Sum up your experience in 2 words.
No water. So when we say fish out of water, I mean no water, because this fish died. I mean, it died a long time ago. I mean, I don't like. Look, it's not that I don't like this movie. I hate this movie. No, I don't hate this movie. Look, there's fun parts of this movie if you don't take it serious. You know what I mean? I just don't think it deserves 2 letters to describe it. I don't know. I have a hard time. Yeah, go ahead. Shit stink? I don't know.
What? Oh my God.
Sorry.
You couldn't come up with an animal pun? It's 2 words.
No, I can't. It doesn't deserve an animal pun. You think that it's doesn't take itself too serious, right?
Yeah.
I think the opposite. I think this movie actually tried too hard to take itself too not serious. Does that make sense? Where it tried to be funny.
Yeah.
In a way that it didn't work. You know what I mean?
But
I think not in the vein of The Room or some disaster movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By that. It just didn't work for me. There's Laserdisc 2 a.m.
That's a lot of words.
That's a lot of words, yes.
I'm going to call it Yeastmaster because you should be getting drunk.
Yeah.
In order to watch
You win that one. Yeah, Beastmaster's correct. Those are the Those are my 2 words too. Can I say that?
No.
Well, damn it.
Come up with your own animal pun or don't do it at all.
Beastmaster. Oh, I can't think of anything for this movie. Nothing popped up. Nothing. This is just no. For once, I'm speechless.
For once.
Yes, for once, I'm speechless.
I'm speechless about this part, at least.
What do we got going on? Because I don't want to think of 2 words.
So I think are going to be doing some 2000 movies.
Oh, the aughts.
Yeah, we're going to be doing the aughts.
O's.
Yes.
Right?
The OOs.
Yeah. My 2 words are 0000. Because that's how many stars I give this movie.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm trying really hard to pull something positive out of this movie.
Are you trying hard?
So I really am. I'm trying to think of like something to say, and like the animal thing is correct. Like
say something nice about Wings Hauser.
He shared half his chromosomes to make Cole Hauser.
Which Cole Hauser was in this movie?
Which Cole Hauser was in
Did
this
we
movie?
mention also he wears like a Phantom of the Opera leather mask?
Oh, the whole movie makes this Phantom of the Opera thing.
I just thought about that.
And he takes it off like, this is what you did to me, you stupid eagle.
Because Chirac scratched his face earlier. Although, when Chirac attacks him, he attacks him on the other side.
Yeah.
But then...
what? And then he took it off and we're like, that doesn't look that
Yeah,
bad.
we were like, ooh, why would you just let that breathe, baby?
Yeah.
It's gonna heal.
It would be more menacing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Just let it breathe. Let it be healed by now.
Cole wouldn't do that. In fact, if they redo this, I want Cole Hauser.
If they did redo it, I would vote for Cole Hauser too.
To be the bad guy?
To be his dad, what his dad was.
Yeah.
And I want his dad to watch from the side and be forced to watch an actual actor do the part. No, son, do it more comical. No. Shut up and eat your watercress sandwiches, Dad. Shut up and finish putting together the craft services table, Wings.
Oh, my God.
So people can find us.
Where can people find us after we destroyed their childhood with
we
Beastmaster
really
2?
depressed ourselves to the point of not talking. So people can find us at thedeucepodcast.podbean.com, Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, a lot of those podcatchers. Or you can also find us at the nophonynetwork.com. Also, you can subscribe to us at Deuce Podcast on Twitter, or join our Facebook group.
And if anyone does have Beastmaster 2 on Laserdisc and they want to sell it to me, don't contact me.
If you have the Beastmaster trilogy on Laserdisc,
don't contact me.
Do contact me. We will buy it for our friend who we bought Stay Tuned for on Laserdisc.
So next week we'll start with our aughts movies. So we're slowly
that ought to be a good one.
Ought to be a good. Hopefully,
I'm going to use that.
Anything's better than this. You know, this Beastmaster.
Beastmaster.
All right, and remember, some sequels aren't. But remember, the sequel is king.